All right. I'm trying not to dick off on my phone the whole time. I just realized, thank God DraftKings sends out that little, hey, dumbass, go set your lineup. I forgot I reserved a $50 the other day to get one of my missions, and I hadn't even filled it out. I have 2 cash lineups today, and I went and entered it in all these, and I didn't even fucking enter it in the one I already had reserved. So, you know what? For a guy that shits on DraftKings a lot, well played, DraftKings. Thanks, brother. Cool you are. Let's see. Entrance. I'm trying to, now I got to balance it out, right? If I just put one of my lineups in a $50, now I got to go get $50 of action on the other one because I want them to both be relatively even, right? So that's where I'm at. Let me get the chat up real quick. Never know what the editor's up to. Let's see. Something tells me we're not going to have as many sweaty people today. I don't know. We've been running like getting 90 people to come by and visit. So let's let the editor tweet it out, or not tweet it out, but send the Discord message out saying, get in here. And then a lot of people are like, oh shit, it's already 11 o'clock. I better go get in there. Which, by the way, no, it's 11 o'clock nowhere because I'm pretty sure I have nobody in, what is that, Mountain Time Zone? So it's probably 1 o'clock where you're at. Or if you're in the Lord's Time Zone, it's noon. You got to be asking yourself, what the fuck's going on here? I'm ranch watering it up. I want you to know I got to record some videos today, and the biggest thing is having energy. And if you don't know, alcohol just makes you a more, well, at least for me, it makes me a more extroverted version of myself, right? Not to mention, right after this stream, I am still recording my PGA preview show, and I have a fucking mega guest on today. I can't believe he said yes. And he's coming on. I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't a little nervous. I mean, he's kind of the GOAT. I mean, he really is the GOAT of content. So, I want to be a little bit relaxed. So let's just have some beverages, day drink all day, watch the OU game today, fucking tilt my lineups a little bit. I'm pumped. Even yesterday, shit went about as bad as it could with injuries, and I still managed to break even. So the streak's still alive. We're not going to count that as a win, but we're not going to count it as a loss. So the ranch water's flowing. I got takes today. I got hot takes. By the way, I'm sitting here and I'm about to give you a take, and I haven't even listened to my own take yet. Man, I'm a fucking noob. I love GPPs today. Is there any GPPs still open? Ooh, 20. Wow, they did a $20,000 secondary? Damn you, DraftKings. When are you going to understand? The people love college football. I mean, if you're doing a $20,000 secondary for college football, you really shit the bed on your primary, right? That's got to be the secondary, right? Got to be. There's no way they did a $20,000 as the top. By the way, only $5,000 to first, so 25% to first. Not a bad little secondary. Great day for GPPs. Am I doing cash? Yes, but that's just because that's kind of been my bread and butter. But there are so many plays today that I love for GPPs, and they make me want to take a shower for cash. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't love this. I don't love it, Bob. Don't love it. That's where I'm at. All right, I'm set. By the way, I'm just letting people funnel in here. We're up to 30. I will start talking very soon. I'm still trying to balance my exposure for my 2 cash lineups. If you guys haven't noticed what I've been doing, and I'm not telling you to do this, this is just something I do. When I make my cash lineup, and I don't absolutely love all 8 pieces, what I do is I usually go make either 2 or 3 versions of it, and then I just go equal them all relatively pretty equally, right? So like yesterday, I couldn't make one lineup I could decide on. So I just ended up making 3 versions, entered it all about $700 a piece, roughly, right? So if 2 of the 3 hit, I'm good. And what I find is a lot of times that all 3 of them hit, and it's no different than if I just made 1. But when you make 3 and one guy gets hurt or one guy fucks off or Green just mysteriously doesn't play for no reason, you still have 2 lineups to still salvage the day. It's just something I've been messing around with. I don't have any great data to support that it's better than just playing 1 lineup or 3 lineups, but it's something I like to do. It's just a little hedge within a hedge, right? Because playing cash, we're basically just hedging, right? And if I can hedge within a hedge, why not do that, right? Especially when you're risking thousands of dollars on little 4-game slapdick college football slates, right? I like to have a little hedge opportunity. Okay, I think I'm about to just have to go play a $50 head-to-head versus somebody to even this shit out. Let's see. Show opponents. Who is still available? Oh yeah, I'll play you in a $50. Actually, you know what? I want to play this guy. GSD4, I know he's made some pretty solid lineups 2 days in a row. 2 days in a row he has. So I think I'm gonna start putting a little respect on his name and stop trying to pick on him because his lineups have not been that bad. So let's go look at upcoming lineups. Yeah, I have them both right about $500 today. Yeah, I see you down there, Jim. Excuse me, Jean Gustafson. But he's, his lineups the last couple days, he's kind of been, I've beat him more than he's beat me, but he's kind of been snake bitten with injuries, and that's out of his control. So his lineups have been solid. He hasn't been playing like fucking, people today are going to play like Jack Westover. I've started to notice that a lot of high limit players at cash like to play fucking punt tight ends. They think, oh, they're on the field a lot, but like tight ends suck at college football. Who was the stupid fucking one yesterday? Fairchild. I don't like it. I don't like it. You'll never get me there. Today, Brevin Spanford, who's basically a tight end, he's kind of an exception, right? Because he really does have a nice role cut out. Do I love him in cash? No, I don't love him because he offers no upside, right? But I do like that he will probably get you 8 to 10 points minimum, right? A lot like why we played Townsend yesterday. I said he will get you 9 points, and I think he got 10 points. I also said that dude from Duke, who was it? Calhoun. I said he's safe for 12. 12.2. Landers. Well, by the way, Landers the nuts yesterday. You donkey dicks. Okay. Sorry, I'm still tilting. Fucking sue me. Okay. We're up to 40. Let's get going. Any housekeeping real quick? Oh, if you didn't see, for all of you that'll be doing NFL tonight, first of all, I just did a whole YouTube video talking about Malik Willis, and now his dumbass isn't even playing. So anything I said on there, just go apply that to Joshua Dobbs, right? I still think everything still applies. He's the same quarterback as Malik Willis. I'm gonna do that end of the year video where I kind of reflect on how I did. That's twice a day my fucking mic is dropped on me. And I need to record a new intro, but you don't give a shit about that. Oh, and I got to do a video breaking down the new website and the new prices because if you don't know, here in 2 days, all the prices are switching over to the 2023 prices. I got 2 employees now, and I got basically a full-time contributor. So, and with the PGA Rosetta Stone, making that and submitting that for round 3, round 4, and week long is going to be quite the endeavor. But we're still keeping just the $5 if you want to be part of the community on the Discord because it's cool. All right, let's get going. Make sure to get your questions over here. I want to answer your questions. As I told you yesterday, whatever question you may have, I guarantee you somebody else has that question. So don't be afraid to ask it. I did just have my dude Okie Poke send me a DM saying that even though Tanner Morgan, a lot of people are saying he's going to play, he has Minnesota fans whispering that he probably isn't going to play. Here's the easiest way to handle this. Stay the fuck away from Minnesota quarterbacks. There you go. That's the simplest thing. I don't even like him in GPPs. If you want to play some GPP darts today at quarterback, I think the two that really get different are Schrader and Sewer. Okay? Ewers, okay? For all of you that don't get the joke, because he's fucking sewage, okay? Those are the 2 best GPP plays, right? I would never consider them for cash. Not for a hot minute, because they both have like 5-point floors. They have that in them. But I think they do probably have 25 to 30-point upside, and no one's going to play them. So Schrader and Ewers are your really gross GPP punts today. No chance I'm playing a Minnesota quarterback either in cash or in GPPs. But don't overthink it. Maybe the play today is I think, honestly, if I'm playing GPPs today, which I'm not going to because now I'm going to be doing this until lock, I would say you still want to play Dylan Gabriel, Jordan Travis, and Michael Penix. You want to play the shit out of those guys. I think where you really get different in GPPs and where all the value exists is trying to nail these running backs. Because the running backs are where it's at today. I think Ibrahim from Minnesota is a nuts play. He's incredible, great value. However, in GPPs, I think he'll be something like, 60, 70% owned today because people are going to want to pay for that free square, just like they're going to do the same thing with Undunes and McMillan from Washington at wide receiver. So I think the real place to get clever today is you run 3 running backs in your lineups, right? And if you really got some stones, I think you want to be looking at these running backs. LaQuint Allen from Syracuse. We don't know what his role is going to be because it's normally Sean Tucker, but we're going to assume he takes over that role, and we know Syracuse likes to run the ball. Javante Barnes from OU. Okay, he's going to be starting. Now, is OU going to be able to run the ball successfully today? Are they going to be in a script where he gets scripted out? These are very big concerns, but there is a path for Javante Barnes being 25-point upside. The guy is really talented. I know this, right? Which, by the way, I need to go over here and check on the message board and see if anybody else replied back to my, see if anybody had any insider knowledge. I don't see it anywhere. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Let's see if anybody else. Oh, sorry, I'm looking up the Farouk thing. See if anybody, I didn't ask if you want to see him. I said, do you know him? Okay. No one has any real great intel on the whole Jalil Farouk at running back stuff. OU's been super secret about this shit all year. So anyways, back to my running back thing. I think Trey Benson is an amazing play tonight, right? I think FSU is going to run the ball right down OU's throat, and Trey Benson really seems to be taking over the first and second down work for Florida State. So he has 30-point upside. I hate Washington's running backs. I've hated Washington running backs all year. If you want to play one at GPPs, I don't mind it. But, man, I got to tell you, I really want to play one of these Texas running backs. Matter of fact, I want to play them so badly, what I ended up doing is I played one in one of my cash lineups and one in the other cash lineup. I just feel like one of them is destined for a monster game tonight. If you don't know, Keelan Robinson is more of a little scat back, third down type guy, and Jonathan Brooks is more of a bruiser between the tackles kind of guy. So I guess it kind of depends on how you think Texas is going to play. If Texas is going to be ahead, in your opinion, I think Brooks is the better play. If you think Texas is going to be behind and scrambling, I think Keelan Robinson's the better play. I honestly think at those price tags, you can get there with both of them. The last thing we'll go over is, so that's my big takeaway, is running backs is where it's at tonight. That is where you really differentiate yourself, specifically in GPPs. In cash game, it's hard to not take the free square with Ibrahim and then maybe guess with two of the other running backs. Am I putting a running back at my flex? Probably. There's just too many good, cheap options tonight. I'm going to just guess and just hope I get them right. As a matter of fact, I just realized one of my cash lineups is Michael Penix, and then I double stacked his receivers, and I don't have Ibrahim. The more I think about it, I don't fucking like that. So I'm going to have to change that right here on the air. I'll wait a little bit till all the people that don't like when that aren't just here for the journey. We'll let them leave first. Hold on, let me get back over to this, get the chat back up. All right, so the last thing we'll talk about is wide receivers today. Minnesota wide receivers, I actually think there could be some value here. I think any of these three guys might be able to get it done. Brevin Spann-Ford always has a nice, safe floor. Daniel Jackson, I think, probably has the most upside for him. So if you want to get different, I think there's some value there. I think a way to really get different and get a usage monster is I don't think Oronde Gadsden. He might actually be a low-owned guy today. People might just see his targets. He still has Schrader as quarterback. 16-point total. They're likely going to be playing from behind. I don't think he's that gross of a play. Matter of fact, I don't even think he's that gross at cash, to be honest with you, which is really weird to say with a team with a 16-point total. But for me, I think in cash, I'm going to be getting to teams with the higher totals, right? My favorite cash wide receivers today, I think I really like Mims. Of course, I like Ondunes and McMillan. I really like Xavier Worthy. And Johnny Wilson isn't even that gross to me. That's basically where I'm at. If you want to consider Polk, if you want to consider Sanders and Whittington, if you want to consider Farouk, I don't mind any of those either. I think those are all viable cash plays, right? Especially if you like every other guy in your lineup and you got to go get on Jordan Whittington to make that lineup work. Well, I think he'll probably get you 9 points tonight. I think he'll get you 9 points for sure. And 2x value if you love everybody else in the lineup. Well, it's not the worst thing in the world, is it, Bob? Same thing with Polk. I don't love playing third wide receivers, but if you're ever going to play a third wide receiver, I think Washington is the offense you want to be attacking tonight. Jalil Farouk, I know some of you are probably going to play him because I have him as high upside, but you got to just be buyer beware. Buyer beware. I definitely, here's what I would tell you about cash game. If I'm going with an OU receiver in my cash game lineup, you only do one. If you're going to play Farouk, first of all, I'd rather play Mims in cash. But if you're going to play Farouk, I think that takes Mims and Stoops off the table for your cash lineup. Now, for a GPP, I think Dylan Gabriel is definitely double stackable, right? If you're running some GPP lineups, Gabriel with Mims and Stoops, or Mims and Farouk, or Mims and Willis, or any fucking combination of any of the two make a lot of sense. He's the kind of guy that can get two receivers there. Jordan Travis, he's a guy I want a 1.5 stack. I like Travis with either Benson and Tofili and then one of his receivers. I'm a big Johnny Wilson guy, but I'm telling you, they got all their wide receivers back. A lot of them have been out this year, so you can't read too much into their targets and stuff like that. And that total, I'm telling you, I just have a sneaking suspicion OU is going to get fucking roasted tonight on defense, but they're going to play surprisingly well on offense. That's just a fucking guess. I have no idea. I can't see the fucking future. That's just my take on watching a piece of shit team all year. Okay, I think they have enough offensive pieces. They've had enough practice time that they're going to be good enough on offense. I still think they lose the game. I still think Florida State is playing ahead, but I don't think it's 28-0 at the end of the first quarter and OU's already done. I don't think. It could be. It could be. OU fucking sucks this year, brother. Hurts me to say it. It hurts me to say it. And then the last game, wide receivers. You just can't go wrong with O'Dunes and McMillan. I've had two people ask me if I had to pick one, who would I pick? And literally, I think they're almost the exact same player. They both have huge upside. They both get deep passes. They both get about 9 targets a game. So I guess in a vacuum, if I had to pick, I would lead 1% towards O'Dunes. But McMillan, if you have 7,100, I'm playing him, and I feel just as confident. You know, it reminds me just of ECU on the slate 2 days ago, right? Where basically we're choosing between Winstead and C.J. Johnson. And the correct answer was you couldn't go wrong with either one of them. You couldn't go wrong with either one. They both had great games. I ended up going Winstead because I just felt like he was the true number one, but C.J. Johnson did great. So I think this is a very similar situation to that. I don't think you can make a wrong choice. Matter of fact, the more I think about it, maybe I do want to just leave a Penix double stack. Maybe I do. Because I really, fuck it. Fuck it. I don't love any of my cash lineups today, so I don't know how you could make a cash lineup and love it today. But I will tell you this. It makes me really sad that I have no... Fuck it. We'll fade Ibrahim in one of our lineups. Fuck it. I'm not changing it. We'll do it live. Okay, sorry. I told you I get a little bit more spicy with the cold brew. Cold brew. Jesus. See, I can't even say the name. It's a ranch water. Some GPP flyers. I think it depends on the quarterback. If you're going to go with Sewer, I think he can get to, if he's going to have a GPP winning type game, he'll get 2 wide receivers there, right? OU, Dylan Gabriel, don't be afraid to play some Drake Stoops. Don't be afraid to play some Braden Willis. I will tell you, Braden Willis is kind of an H-back, right? And an H-back is a glorified tight end for all of you that don't know Lingity. And I typically just don't play those type of guys. I'd rather just play the home run guys like Marvin Mims and Jalil Farouk, where, Braden Willis, he's just not typically a home run guy. Let's see. We've already talked about Gatson. He would be the one guy. If I'm going to stack Schrader, I'm going to do a skinny stack with probably just Gatson and maybe Allen also. I think Jordan Travis is the most intriguing GPP play because we don't know who it's going to be. Everybody's going to stack him with Johnny Wilson, but Ontaria Wilson, the female version of Lake Ontario, Micah Pittman, I think those are viable guys, right? If you're going to go with Penix, everybody's going to stack on Dunes and McMillan with him. Maybe you get clever and go play Polk or Westover. Okay, and I think that's really where I'm at as far as receivers goes and punts and cash. I hope I've answered general questions. Now let's get into specific questions. Get over here, you motherfuckers. 40 of you sweaty bastards. Hey, I got to tell you, I'm going to go off on this a little bit in my video later. I hope y'all are having fun. I want college football to be fun. Yes, winning makes fun. I get that. I really do. But yesterday, I legitimately broke even. I posted it I try to be very transparent about my wins and losses with you guys and let you know, like it's not like, oh, I'm a millionaire. I win every slate I play. Okay, that's touty bullshit. Anybody that tells you that, you fucking run. Okay. Also, another thing, anybody that's giving you picks and they don't play lineups, fucking run. Okay, I can think of a big name in the golf world that does that. Anyways, so with that said, I had fun yesterday, and I hope you guys have fun, and that's what I want it to be. I understand that I want you to enjoy the process, right? I want you to enjoy the tilting. I do. I have fun, and if that's not what it is, I want you to reconsider if you should play college football, right? That's it. That's what I want you to do. Now, the good news is, looking at the screenshots, which, by the way, big shout out to my dude JT Caps, Snake Caps, whatever his name is, fucking hit the I mean, he had the sickest lineup yesterday. I think he won 4 different GPPs with that lineup. He just went and made his lineups, and he put it in each of the lower dollar contests, and he won. It was an incredible lineup. He made a purposeful effort. He had Raheem Sanders in 85% of his lineups, and then in 3 of them, he went and played the backup, Dubiable, or however the fuck you say his last name. The Arkansas backup running back that had a monster game after Sanders went out. And he had a crazy great lineup, and he won. So big shout out to him. The best part is people are like, I would have never played that guy. But he did it mindfully, and he was thinking through it. He didn't just arbitrarily just pick names out of a hat. He was thinking about his exposures, and he really wanted Arkansas running backs. And so he gave himself a little bit of hedge equity by pulling Dubiable, or however the fuck you say his name, number 6. That's what I know him as. All right, Nick. You have a chance to win today? About the same chance as me running a marathon in under 2 hours, Nick. Not likely. I guess it could happen. Maybe if I got in my car, but it's not likely. Are we writing 3 OU players? Okay, so sell me fire. Let me tell you, in GBPs, I love OU in a vacuum. I mean, there is a tremendous value in OU today. Their offense is going to probably have to be aggressive to keep up in this game. They're going to be playing from behind, so I love OU players in GBPs. Now, what I'm running into is in cash. How much do I want to love them? And the truth is I don't want to love them, right? I've made a conscious effort to either play Gabriel and a pass catcher or fade them and play Javonte Barnes, right? I just don't see any way they all get there. So I kind of did a bitch hedge within my bitch hedge on my cash lineups. One is a Gabriel and a wide receiver stack. The other one is a fade Gabriel, and let's just play the running back side of it. So that's what I ended up doing. But I do think in GPPs, I would attack the shit out of FSU. I would attack the shit out of OU. And I think Texas offers a lot of value too, okay? Even with Sewer at quarterback. Hope OU wins. I'm anti-FSU. Well, I will tell you, one of my favorite stories of all time, 16 years old. Maybe I was 15. Last time OU won a national title. It was the 2000 championship game, and before, at the coin toss, Chris Winkie was the quarterback for Florida State, and OU's middle linebacker. This was when OU came out of nowhere that year. They were like preseason, like not even ranked, and they were in the national title game. And at the coin flip, Torrance Marshall, because if you don't know, Josh Heupel, OU's quarterback, finished second. He's the coach at Tennessee now, finished second in the Heisman that year, and Torrance Marshall looks at Chris Winkie, who had just won the Heisman, and said, "You took my boy's Heisman, now you're going to pay." Fucking legend. Still my favorite OU moment of my life when Torrance Marshall said that live on TV at the coin toss and then goes out there and fucking dominates his ass. Jesus, my whole life, that happened when I was 15, my whole life I've been chasing that feeling again. And we've just been like really good since then and never great. Fuck, I love that moment. Torrance Marshall, you're a fucking legend. I doubt you're watching, but if you are, you're a fucking legend. All right, looks like more GPP-type slates than cash with so many unknowns for opt-outs. Bill, I agree with that 100%. In hindsight, I probably should have went and just played a bunch of GPPs today and stayed away from cash. But I've just had so much success with cash, and I trust my process so much. And honestly, I fucking enjoy it that I just build cash lineups. Like, I don't even think. I just think, all right, start building cash. I'm so used to building cash lineups for college football, I honestly many times forget to think about even making GPP lineups. Plus, I'm so time crunched getting out the stone, getting out the rough draft, doing this stream for you guys that a lot of times it just slips my mind. So that's why I don't play as many GPPs at college football as I probably should. But I will tell you this, guys, and this is something I've noticed and I think I'm going to change my tune on next year. If you're playing GPPs at college football, it's not about picking crazy fucking picks as much as you think. Yes, I know our dude JT last night won a GPP with a crazy running back, right? But the rest of his lineup was fucking solid as shit and made a lot of sense, and he just simply took one punt. The rest of his lineup was completely logical, very correlated plays. Okay, so the thing I want to tell you, if you're going to play GPPs, is not about playing a bunch of crazy plays. I think you legit just need to pick, the best plays, and then maybe a pivot or two, and maybe a punt in there if you want. I think that's the nuts at GPPs. I really believe that at college football. Because at college football, due to the volume and due to the talents difference, the best plays get there so frequently. Okay, Jalen Daniels yesterday was a great play. I mean, he was just a great play. It was just a great spot for him. And he got there, right? It wasn't like, ooh, I need to overthink this. Just play the best play, $7,000. I thought worst case scenario, he'd get 28. I think he got like 55 or some shit like that. I will be cheering for OU, not an FSU fan. Well, Bill, if you were really my friend, you'd cheer for OU because you love me. I'm kidding. What's up, Chris Walton? Did you guys know Chris Walton? Actually, fun fact about him is one of Bill Walton's descendants. So he actually owns 1/4 of all Walmart. Very rich guy. You want to become friends with Chris. Ibrahim and Allen together, not a good idea. What? Ibrahim? Okay. Who the hell is... Oh, Allen. Yeah, okay, that's a great point, Mike. That's a great point. You know what? Now you got me looking at my lineups. I will tell you this. In college football, I don't know if that's as much of a steadfast rule, but I will say this. Typically speaking, you don't want to run running backs against each other because, they just don't correlate very well, especially two guys like this who are first and second down type guys. A lot of times one of them almost certainly gets game scripted out. So I think that's a good point, Mike. I think if you're going to play Ibrahim, I think you want to be cognizant to not get on Allen. So what I would tell you, Mike, is if you like Ibrahim, maybe go check out Keelan Robinson, right? I think he's a very viable play instead, who's basically at the same price tag as our boy LeQuint. I like to think that his mom, the night before he was born, stayed at La Quinta, and she couldn't remember how it's spelled, so she just said, you know what, I'm going to just name my kid LeQuint. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I like to think. Is Polk cash viable? I mean, I guess so. I mean, you gotta use a little bit more imagination today. He is on the field a lot in a very good offense, so he does make sense. I would say this: LeQuint Polk, excuse me, I got LeQuint on my mind. Jalen Polk is about as viable at cash as Jatavion Sanders, and Jalil Farouk. They're all right there in that same price range. They're all about the same guy to me. I think they all offer very low floors, which is a little scary, right? I think all those guys you could see getting 3 points and it wouldn't fucking surprise you. But they all offer pretty big upside. They're all going to be on the field a lot in high totals. And because of that, I think that makes them viable. Okay? So there you go. I won't fucking crucify you if you play him, T-Swin. Bill says, which running backs are your favorites to pair with Ibrahim and Cash? So, when I'm playing Ibrahim, as we already talked about, I'm staying away from LaQuint Allen. I think if I had to rank running backs that I feel most solid today in, I think Trey Benson is going to just have a big workload today. I think Jonathan Brooks is very safe. I think Javonte Barnes is very good. And more of a punt, I think I like Keelan Robinson, who I have in one of my cash lineups. So how much of a punt is he? And LaQuint Allen, but I don't like pairing him with Ibrahim. Here, William. Here, sir. Here. All right. Man, I better slow down on the drink or I'm going to have to pee. Winnington and Stoops, good for cash. I don't know about that, P. Lou. I would say this. Either one of those guys is the last guy in your cash lineup, I'm warm to. Okay? I'm warm to it. But to have them both, I feel like that's two quasi punts. You know what I'm saying? Like both of them to me are distinctly the third option on their teams. And I don't know if I want to be paying, $4,700 or $4,900 for a third option on teams that aren't particularly great at getting the ball to their third options. So if you were playing one of those guys, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But both of them, that seems a little too much. I think I'd go try to find some savings somewhere and maybe try to get up to like a Xavier Worthy, right? I think that's what I would rather do. Shit, even Oronde Gadsden, I think, is noticeably better, and he's only about $1,000 more than those guys. Benson going to be the chalkiest running back, I think. I think he'll be behind Ibrahim, Chris, but I think he'll be the second. His totals recently, and if you guys only knew this, if you only knew how many people made lineups simply by going and looking at the game log that DraftKings offers and then makes their decisions, you would be amazed. I guarantee you it's over 50% of people that make lineups. That's how they get their information. That's why it's so awesome when DraftKings is fucking lazy and leaves like the injury designation so they think a guy's out when a guy's playing. Or they're slow as shit updating when a guy is out when we already know he's out, right? So DraftKings doing the Lord's work because I guarantee you over half of people make their lineups like that. Why am I saying all this, Chris? Because if you go look at Trey Benson's little game log, the last 3 or 4 games have been the nuts. And going off of that, I do think that makes him super popular. I think he will be the second highest owned player on the slate today, probably only behind Ibrahim. Okay, Jordan Travis might be higher than him, but at least top 3 for sure. What's up, Hannah? All right, we getting a hint on the big name for PGA or we got to wait? I think you got to wait. But you know what, Nick? I would say this. Just use a little bit of logic. Who is the biggest name in the PGA DFS industry? If you're new, maybe you are new to the industry, Nick, so maybe you don't know. But I'll just say this. It's the fucking godfather of PGA DFS content and the single biggest reason that I do this for a living. I mean, I hate to be so dramatic, but if I'm really thinking of people that have had the biggest impact on my life, it'd probably be this. This guy would definitely be top 3, which is insane to say about a guy that does podcasts. But if it wasn't for him, I would have never started watching PGA. If I didn't start watching PGA, I wouldn't have started playing professionally. If I didn't start playing professionally, I would have never made a YouTube channel. If I didn't make a YouTube channel, I wouldn't know all you fuckers. So because of that, I would be very short-sighted to not acknowledge the impact that he has had on my life. By the way, I'm very big picture. I'm always reflecting on shit. So if I ever seem like I have these big grand takes, because I'm like very reflective on stuff. I like to think about stuff. Who is the GOAT of PGA content? If you don't know, you don't know. P. Lewis says probably Mayo. I can neither confirm or deny, but thank you for trying to piss in my Cheerios, P. Lewis. Jesus. 4,200 left for wide receiver cash. Where am I going? Span Ford, definitely. If you have $4,200 left, you like the rest of your lineups, I think you throw Span Ford in there and be happy with your 8.9 points today. Record this. I put it down. GSD is available. Yeah, once again, try not to pick on him so much. Best cash stacks. All right, Hannah, I'm really glad you said that. Cash stacks. I like the way you worded that because this is a point I hit on. And if you guys ever get tired of me repeating myself, it's because I don't have the same people in here every time. I got about 90 of you that rotate in and out and watch this. So I want you to hear this and I want you to hear this clear. In cash game, I don't love stacking. At most, when I'm making a cash lineup, I make a conscious effort to only stack one wide receiver with my quarterback, because when you stack two wide receivers with a quarterback, if they perform below average, like if you did Bo Nix, Franklin, and Coda last night, you were fucked in cash, right? You were fucked. You were done. So this is why I don't like to do it, because now I've basically just killed 3 spots in my lineup. So when I make a cash lineup, I am very cognizant that I only want one quarterback with one pass catcher, right? That's just my rule. Now, as I say that, I'm pretty sure I have a cash lineup today that has Penix with his top 2 pass catchers. So as I say that, I'm literally contradicting myself. But you also got to remember this is a 3-game slate. And at 3-game slates, obviously a lot of the rules start to be a little bit more malleable. For all of you that don't have a great vocabulary, that means bendable in the metal world, okay? So that's I don't like to stack. Jordan Travis, I am running naked. If I'm going to compliment him with somebody, I'm going to compliment him with Benson, because I feel like Benson is the most likely to vulture him, and I want to have access to as many of those Florida State touchdowns as I can get. For Dylan Gabriel, my number 1 stack is Marvin Mims. They've really started to chunk the ball down the field to him a lot. My second favorite is Farouk, but I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. I'm just projecting. Farouk might get 3 points today. I am telling you that now. If you play him and you're like, I thought you said he'd do well. I never said that, Bob. Never said it. Don't fucking put words in my mouth, or I'll put my fist in yours. I'm kidding. I'm a really nice guy. I'm a pacifist, except for the dude that I whooped his ass last week. All right. Best GPP plays. So we went over that. All right, 3 running backs for 4 wide receivers in cash. Woody, I think I prefer 3 running backs, but the problem is a lot of these running backs come with big old question marks with them. So it's kind of counterintuitive, right? Because normally I say when there's question marks, we want to stay away from that, right? That's not what we want in our cash lineup. But like it just becomes fucking basic math that some of these guys are going to have to get carried. Somebody has to fucking run the ball for Texas. So I'm just betting that it's probably going to be Jonathan Brooks, right? Someone has to run the ball for Syracuse. I'm just projecting it's going to be LaQuint Allen. So that's where I'm at. If you did 4 receivers today, I wouldn't hate you. But here's where I'm at, Woody, is I had a hard time finding a second wide receiver I want. Now you want me to find a third and a fourth wide receiver I want? No thanks. I just ended up going 3 running backs, because at least with them, I felt very confident that if it plays out how I'm projecting it to, that I felt much more comfortable than holding my breath that fucking Drake Stoops gets me 12 points. See what I'm saying? All right, great call on Calhoun. You know what? I should do this for a living, Chris. Okay, Jerry, favorite contrarian under-owned GPP stack today? Yeah, I think that answer is most definitively Quinn Ewers. I mean, he's sucked all year. I think he's a fucking bum. I think he's probably the most overrated player of all time. But at the same time, they have a 35-point total. They're missing their fucking bell cow and Bijan, so you don't have to worry about him vulturing 3 touchdowns. There is a path to him getting it done. And the best part about Quinn Ewers, and this is a very important point, the best thing I can say about Quinn Ewers is his target share is super concentrated. He only throws the ball to 3 fucking people. He throws it to Xavier Worthy, he throws it to Jordan Whittington, and he throws it to Javion Sanders. That's it. So if you're going to play Quinn Ewers, he is super stackable, because you don't have to worry about some fucking random 8th string receiver going for 100 yards and a touchdown today, because he only throws it to those 3 guys. So that is why I like him as my favorite GPP low-owned play today. But just know, he fucking sucks. There you go. He's a really bad quarterback. But you know what? He only has to be good for 1 game for us to win all the money. Okay. Let's see. Nick, did you give GSD the stone? He won $44 6 max, 224 points yesterday. Hey, if you want to know the truth about GSD, which, by the way, now that I literally am in a partnership with him, I'm going to have to quit shitting on him. He makes tremendous GPP lineups. Don't get it twisted. The only thing that I ever shit on GSD for is when he makes cash lineups, he just doesn't play all the optimal plays. He will throw those punts in his cash lineup, and that's not what you want to do. And a lot of times when he does that, he's basically giving you a free square. Like you're playing 8 on 7 because he plays this punt. Sometimes that punt goes off, but a lot of times they don't. That's why he's so good at winning GPPs, but I target him at cash because I don't know if he always differentiates between the 2 ways that you should construct a lineup. But I do want to say this. After talking to him in person, he seemed like a very sharp dude. So I am definitely going to quit picking on him less, unless the data shows that he sucks. Okay, because we're now up to 6 slates of data. We're consistently building that. I'm sharing that information with the relevant people. I'm just trying to get enough data so that it is relevant for us to choose targets, right? To target the weakest players at cash. And I'm going to be doing the same thing for PGA. We want to target those guys. We want to play the guys that'll go play, fucking a $6,000 slap dick in their lineup. That's who you want to play at cash, because chances are at best they're already starting with a 5 out of 6 lineup. Barnes and cash, yeah, Nick, I have him in one of mine, but here's how I feel about Javonte Barnes. If you're going to play Javonte Barnes in cash, I think you specifically make a point to stay away from the OU passing game, right? For Javonte Barnes to have a good game, I feel like it's a game in which OU is running the ball and dictating it, and he is probably vulturing a lot of yards, a lot of plays, and a lot of touchdowns from Dylan Gabriel on the passing game. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of my in-game hedge, right? I just don't see a way that Gabriel and Barnes both have a good game, because he is not going to be catching the ball out of the backfield. That's just my assessment of it. I think he's a true talent, but he's a workhorse type running back, not a little shifty dude catching the ball out of the backfield. As soon as I say that, they'll fucking run a screen to him. He'll take it 80 yards. And you'll be like, but I thought he doesn't catch the ball. Okay, simmer down, Nick. Never enjoyed college football so much. Glad to hear it, Woody. If I can make it fun, that's what I'm trying to do. Build a community, have fun. If we win some money, that's just the fucking cherry on top. Am I right? Am I right? Let's go Knowles. Okay, Jeff. Go fuck yourself. I'm kidding. You're cool. You can cheer for him. I don't care. That's what's fun about college football. You cheer for your team, and then you're like, hey, you're a dumbass. Your team sucks. And in the end, you're like, hey, good game, man. That was fun. That's what you do. This is the funnest content I listen to. Different DFS dude, and the big guy is the dude. Hey, you know what? My mom would agree with that. My mom thinks I am the man. She tells me every day, hey, you're doing great. Just like when I grew up, she would never say I was fat. She always called me husky. Appreciate it, Mom. So now that I'm a little overweight because of the holiday season, you'll never hear me call myself fat. I'm athletically chubby. Thanks, Mom. Thanks for the self-esteem. All right. UW, should you be able to air it out on Texas today? Yeah. First of all, UW is a very pass-forward offense, Chris. So I like that. And I do think Texas is susceptible to passing. And even if they're not, Washington's just going to be passing the whole time anyways. If Washington gets ahead, they're going to pass. If Washington gets behind, they're going to pass. If the game is competitive, Washington's going to pass. Wait, hold on. Yeah, I see a trend here. So that's why I really like targeting Washington's pass game today. Westover, I saw that, Hannah. Westover, the tight end from Washington, does have that questionable tag, but once again, Hannah, as I told you, I think this is just DraftKings doing the Lord's work and being fucking lazy. And why I say that is because, like, I think that's just old news. I think that's from way back. It may be their last game of the year, so I don't think that's something we really need to be worried too much about, Hannah. All right, the Marshall Winky coin toss is reminiscent of Alonzo Highsmith telling the boss, I ain't scared of you, bitch, in 86. Hey, Chris, I was enjoying that comparison until you try to shit on my Sooners. What is wrong with you guys today? Taking shots. Hannah gets it. She hopes OU wins. All right, Bill, college football has become my favorite DFS sport and PGA a close second. I love the process of building correlated cash lineups. Hey, Bill, that's where it's at. And if you enjoy the process, all the money is just gravy. Gonna ride with your boy Farouk. All right, Chris, but if he does shitty, you don't blame me. I'm telling you right now. I am on the 12:38 Lord's time zone. Jalil Farouk will break your heart. But I do like this. I do think he will be involved in the passing game. OU is depleted of wide receivers. So I know this. Unless he gets hurt, he'll be on the field the whole fucking game. I know OU's probably going to be passing, and I think that they will purposely have some plays to get him the ball in the run game. He's going to be a lot like Brown from Coastal Carolina. And that went great for us, right? 2 plays, and then he's dead because he hit his head on an assistant coach's shoulder? What the fuck? All right, moving on. Your favorite wide receiver cash play, 3,100 or under. Yeah, that's an easy one, Jeff. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go rebuild your whole fucking lineup, because if you have a guy at 3,100 on this slate, you need to go rebuild your lineup. Very simple. Don't play it. I built a lineup yesterday, and it had every dream cash play I would want in it, and I had precisely $3,000 left over for a wide receiver. And let me just tell you, it was really easy. I realized the answer is go rebuild your lineup, you dumbass, because you can't play any of these guys. I will say, if you're doing a GPP and you don't mind an absolute punt, oh shit, hold on, I gotta go look it up. OU has a guy at 3,000 that I could see getting there in a wild world. Hold on, I gotta answer this for you because I remember thinking, Freeman, Gavin Freeman, the true freshman. There you go. If you play Gavin Freeman in a cash lineup, you never fucking talk to me again, Jeff. Okay, but if you want a complete GPP dart, especially if you have Gabriel, they do have a lot of gadget plays for him. He has had some decent games. Problem is, he basically is going to have 3 touches, so you better hope the little white boy is efficient. By the way, his high school, Heritage Hall, just 3 miles down the road from me. Little rich kid school. Zach says toe tag and Tambo. That is not the correct answer, but he is on the show. Is yours and Travis good for GPP on FanDuel? Absolutely. I think those are fine plays for GPPs. Fine plays. And, the only thing I would say, Brandon, that worries me a little bit about Jordan Travis is who the hell do we stack him with? Because you got to stack him with at least one wide receiver, right? We need a little bit of correlation in our lineups. I would say Johnny Wilson, but I don't have a ton of conviction in that, brother. All right. P. Lewis for cash. Brooks, Whittington, Stoops, or Robinson, Stoops, Gatz. Ooh, shit. P. Lewis coming in hot and heavy. I will say this. I don't know if I love Brooks and Whittington together, but I also don't know if I love Gatson either. So can I say neither? Can I just say get back to the drawing board? You still got 19 minutes, P. Can I say that? By the way, P. Lewis, we're friends. I'm just going to start calling you P. What up, P? That's how it's going to be. Nick, you okay with Ibrahim and Ford and Cash together? Yeah, I don't love it, but I don't think that's a deal breaker. I think you're planning on Ibrahim getting 25 and Span Ford getting you 10. That's kind of what you're hoping for there, Nick. I don't think it's the worst, but I will say this. I just worry about the game environment, right? That game's going to need to have a little bit of something to it, right? It can't be a 14-3 game, or basically you've just given 2 spots to a really shitty game. That would be my only concern. But if you think that game's going to be a little bit more up-paced than the Vegas is leading on, Nick, I think that's fine. I think it's fine. All right, Chris says, think it's okay to run Travis Gabriel stacks together with a sprinkle of Texas-Washington game. I mean, if you're talking GPPs, I love it. If I'm playing GPPs, I am either stacking game 2 or game 3, and then I'm sprinkling a little bit of the other game, and then maybe taking some random one-off piece from game 1. That's how I would construct most of my GPPs. I'm either doing a Ewers Pinnock stack, a Gabriel Travis stack, and then, at least getting one wide receiver paired with them, grabbing a little bit of action from the other shootout type game, and then one random one-off piece from this game. I think you want to have action to a little bit of skin in the game on all 3 games. That's my opinion, Bob. But you build your lineup how you want, big guy. Woody, Ibrahim, Benson, Brooks, or Ibrahim. Man, these questions are getting way more complicated than they used to. I feel like this is you guys seeing me drinking the ranch water and trying to challenge me. Maybe we should start doing a mental math contest. Hold on, let me see if the drinks are hitting. 20. What is 22 times 23? 506. Somebody check that. If it's not 506, I've had too many to drink. And by the way, I just picked those numbers because they're what's down on my calendar down here. Okay, Ibrahim, Benson, and Brooks. So Ibrahim, Benson, Brooks. All right, so I really like that build. Like right there, I already like that. Or Ibrahim, Barnes, Robinson. Okay, well, first of all, are those the same price? Those don't seem like the same price because Benson's more expensive than Barnes, and Brooks is more expensive than Robinson. So, Woody, I don't know if I'm understanding your question correctly, but definitely the top one. But I don't think those 2 things are the same, right? You know what I mean? Like I prefer Brooks over Robinson. I prefer Benson over Barnes. But they're also more expensive, so that has to be factored into the equation, right? So definitely the top one, but I think that top one costs about $2,000 more. So that's up to you to determine that. The gray beard, you kind of look like a husky. I mean, I'm a husky. What do you want me to say? And I'm playing Washington players tonight. I'm a husky playing Huskies. Yeah, might be the only husky playing Huskies in the world tonight. All right. Jeff S. Penix or Travis for cash. Already have Benson or both. Yeah, so look, I don't try to tell you guys how to build your lineup, but I think you are being a fool if you don't have Jordan Travis either as your quarterback or your super flex. To me, you put him in. You set it and forget it, just like the rotisserie chickens back in the 90s. From there, to me, for cash, it really comes down to Penix or Gabriel. And this is where I really encourage you guys to make your own lineups because I can see it going either way. And in full transparency, I did 2 cash lineups, and I went full bitch mode, and I went Gabriel in one, I went Penix in the other. There you go. That's the answer, Bob. So I think you play Jordan Travis, and then you need to decide between Gabriel and Penix. I don't like Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers is a lot like, like I guess Show last night. Like, yeah, you can play him, and Show had a 99 percentile outcome yesterday, but he was still a poor cash play, right? Like I didn't. Who foresaw Show, a Texas Tech quarterback, getting 100 rush yards and 2 touchdowns? If you saw that, you're full of shit. Okay. So, yes, he got there. But, this is going to be my central theme. I've already talked about it once. I'm going to talk about it again. You have to stop being results-oriented, okay? You can't just simply look at the results of how somebody performed and then say, I made the right decision because of that. Okay, Tyler Show, with being on a short leash yesterday, talked that there could be multiple quarterbacks playing for Texas Tech, was not a good game environment for him to be a good cash play. He was a tremendous GPP play, which I told you. I said he was my favorite GPP play yesterday, but was not a good cash play. So you can't just simply go back and look at the results and say, oh, that was dumb of me not to play him. No, it was dumb of you to play him. Okay? I'll die on this hill. Landers had 24 points yesterday, smashed the slate on 4 targets. You just got to play the game. 4 targets and a run-forward offense like Arkansas, it wasn't a good play. Yes, he got there. Yes, he smashed it, but it was not a good play. It wasn't. That would be like you not cashing yesterday because you had Green from North Carolina in there, and then he just mysteriously was inactive. Does that make him a bad play? No, he was a great play. That was a super great environment. We have proof of this. Look how well Pacehour did, right? So we know that was a great environment for him to do well in. So just because you had him in your lineup and then he was a no-show and you didn't cash yesterday, that doesn't mean you didn't make a good cash lineup. That means that you're only looking at results and using that to determine if you're successful or you're not successful, and that is the most dumbass way of thinking about things. Okay, you can't be results-oriented. Results don't necessarily dictate if you did things right. And if you're like, well, I'd rather have the money in my account than not, okay, that's fine, but just know in the long run, that shit's all going to work out, right? You're the guy at the poker tournament who made the final table, finishes 8th place, gets a good cash out, and forgot that you got it all in with Jack 10 suited against pocket aces like a fucking dumbass and sucked out on him, right? You're the guy that forgets that. You're only looking at your final results and not the path it took you to get there. All right. Just got in. Cash below 5,300. Justin told me the old dad bod Justin told me he was taking the day off. And here he is, sweaty as hell up in the chat 13 minutes before lock. Just got in. Cash below 5,300 as a tough wide receiver. Anything that stood out? If I were going 5,300 or lower, I don't mind Polk. I don't mind Farouk. And I guess Whittington to a lesser extent. If I had to rank them, I would probably go Polk 1, Farouk 2, Whittington 3. Okay, there you go. I'll be the first to tell you. I'll be the first to acknowledge that James K. Polk was a president. He was the 11th president of the United States, and he is known as the Manifest Destiny president because he was the guy that truly connected the United States from coast to coast, right? Really made it the America that we know today. And I would be doing a disservice if I did not acknowledge that Washington is on the West Coast. Washington was one of the states that he helped bring in and make the Manifest Destiny, and Washington's playing, and they have a wide receiver named Polk. Just seems like a sign from the heavens. Seems like a sign from the heavens. I know that's what a lot of you were probably thinking, but I just wanted to put it out there for all of us. Braden Willis or Farouk for cash? Ooh, probably Farouk. And it's simple, Mike. Here's the answer. Here's why. I want to tell you why I'm thinking that, because if you don't agree with my logic, I want you to go the other way. Braden Willis is an H-back, which is basically a glorified tight end, right? He plays somewhere between a running back out of the backfield and a tight end. We call that an H-back in the biz. And I don't like those guys as much because they typically don't offer as much upside, whereas Jalil Farouk is a true wide receiver who gets involved in the running game and gets down the field passes with home run ability. So because of that, I like the upside of Jalil Farouk. However, Willis might get more targets on the game. So there you go. That's what you need to do to consider to decide, right? Ian. Oh, well, Ian in the chat. We don't get to see Ian in the chat every day. Justin has taken the day off all week. Yeah, me too. Yeah. For all of you that don't know, Ian and Justin, homies. They're homies. They're brothers. Both went to Florida. I don't hold that against them. They are slapdick Gators. I'm a cabin just finished playing Madden. Oh, you're playing Madden. There you go. 7-year-old had some time. Wait, did the 7-year-old beat you, Justin? You don't look like a guy that would be very good at Madden. Why don't you go do some curls? Because you don't look like you're any good at Madden. Nick, did you win? No, he doesn't. You just look at Justin, tell him he's not good at Madden. Paul P. Lou. Sorry, what a P. In cash, is it okay to have both Ibrahim and Span and McMillan and Polk? Yes and yes. I mean, I don't love it. That's not the way I want to build. But I don't hate it. I will tell you this, P. Basically, at this point, if you're going to go McMillan and Polk in your cash lineup, I think you're almost obligated to go Penix. There's just no way both of those guys do well. You basically need to just like go all in on that. Don't be a half-ass bitch and like I'll just play the receivers and not the quarterback. Because if both those receivers do well, Penix will almost certainly be a optimal cash play. So that's what I would tell you, P. All right, we're 10 minutes from lock. Yeah, I could just tell Justin's a terrible Madden player. Go do some curls. Go do some skull crunchers. Sorry, I like to make fun of Justin. I call him Dad Bod Justin because he used to be like, I guess, a competitive bodybuilder or some shit like that. I don't know. Weird shit. I sit in a sauna for 5 minutes. I want to die. Jeff S., any Texas wide receiver cash worthy? See what I did there? No, I don't get it. Now, if you would have said, are any Texas wide receivers cash Sanders? I'm like, I get it. Yeah, no, worthy. I see what you did. Very clever. As a guy that does far too many dad jokes, I kind of appreciate it. So, any news? By the way, if you see any news, share it right here. Share it right now. By the way, really got to pee. But we're 9 minutes from lock, and I know if I go pee, I'll lose all my great concurrent viewers. Only 68 swung by today, but I will say this: we've been staying at 43 very consistently. A lot of sweaty bastards today. 10 minutes until lock. Should we be spamming lineups? If there's a good contest you like, Nick, that little secondary $15 didn't look bad. And I'm telling you, man, this is a great slate for GPPs. And I know how big your bankroll is, Nick. So go fucking, if you have some hot takes, go do it. I really like some contrarian builds today. There's some stacks. I told you Schrader and Ewers are good stacks. Or you just simply go mix and match Gabriel, Travis, and Penix, and you mix and match who their pass catchers are. Can I get some wide receivers for cash? You motherfather. Who shows up 8 minutes before lock and starts requesting stuff? I'm kidding. I got you, brother. Yeah, if I were ranking cash wide receivers today, number 1 on my list would be Ondunes. Right behind him at number 2 would be McMillan. My third favorite cash play wide receiver would probably be Worthy. Number 4 would be Mims. Number 5... Oh, God, this gets ugly quick. Number 5, Polk. Number 6, Farouk. No. Number 5 is Wilson. Number 6 is Polk. Number 7 is Farouk. Number 8, Stoops. 9, Sanders. 10, Whittington. 11, Spanford. I can't go any further than that. I'm getting confused. Hearing Brown Stevens is out. Well, that would be big fucking news. Let's go mark him. Let's see. P. Lewis. P. Lewis isn't a guy that would bullshit us. Let's go look. Brown Stevens. His name is Michael Brown-Stevens. Golly. There it is. From a guy with a blue check mark. With 12,000 followers. That's pretty good. I believe this guy. Mike Brown Stevens. Personal. Okay, he didn't want to talk about it. He's out. So to me, that's really useful news, P. I appreciate you. I think that gives a little bit more value to Spanford and Jackson, right? I think that those are a little bit more viable. You know, I think you're only talking about a 10 to 20% increase in their production, but, you know, every little bit helps. I'm not saying go play those guys, all the value in the world just open, but, like, if you were already on the fence about playing them, I think that makes them a lot more appetizing now, right? That would be my take. Thanks, P. So just to be clear, everybody, make sure you don't have Michael Brown-Stevens in some weird fucking lineup, which if you do, what are you doing? I don't know what you're doing, big guy. All right. Brandon says, should I double down on receivers for Texas with Polk on FanDuel for GPPs? Oh, and a GPP? Absolutely. I think that's fine. It makes a lot of sense because you basically are playing for this game to shoot out, and if it shoots out, there's likely that 2 Texas receivers get there, and Polk is probably going to get there too. So I don't hate it. I would never in a million years do that in cash, but in GPPs, we ain't thinking that way. So I kind of dig it. Brandon. All right, we got 6 minutes till lock. You better start talking. College football ends and PGA begins. It's like they planned it. I got to tell you, Nick, I'm so excited to do PGA next week. By the way, here you go. This is an open trivia question for Nick. There is one content provider that I think's content has really started to slip over the past year and is to the point that it's unwatchable, or maybe I should say unlistenable. Anybody want to guess who that is? I would love to hear your guess. I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong. I just want to know that I want you guys to know there's a guy I used to listen to, and now I definitely don't. I think the content kind of fucking sucks now. And I just want to see your guys' guesses, because if you have the same thing as me, that would be I would be interested to know that. Not going to tell you if you're right or wrong. I just want to know who y'all guess. All right. Worthy and Robinson okay to play in cash? Absolutely. Absolutely, B. Especially if you think that's the game that's going to be the highest scoring. I think totally. Mike says Pat Mayo. Nick says Rick. All right. Jeremy says Rick also. Let's see. Brandon, will Tapa Papa be low owned on FanDuel? Let's see. What's his price tag? Yeah, 8,600 is pretty pricey for a guy that's going to be in a timeshare. I bet that it's going to be. I think he'll be low owned. Yes, he will be low owned, Brandon. Let's see. Can't be Andy. It has to be Mayo. I'll tell you this. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys right now. As long as Pat has Jeff Feinberg on his show, I'll never stop listening. It is not. The answer is not Pat. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'm just going to tell you it is definitely not Pat. Pat is the king of content. He is the king of content. Michael says, RRG for me is no longer a must-listen, spread too thin. All right, let's see. I didn't mean to ignore your question, Mountain Man. Gatson, Polk, or Willis for last cash spot? I mean, I guess all things being equal, give me Gatson. You know, if you have $6,000 left, I think you take Gatson. All things being equal, right? At least he's the alpha, right? Polk is in a better game environment for sure, but Gatson is, 7 targets a game is not bad. Not bad. No offense. I know, Kyle, I appreciate your guess, but I got to tell you, I never once watched Sal. Sal is, he's, I got 3 minutes I've been drinking, so I'll just go on a little rant here. Nothing against Sal, but Sal and guys like Al Smizzle and stuff like that, those guys do great content, but they're for the masses. You know what I mean? Here's what I have realized, because as I've told you, I do way too much thinking, and here's what I've come to the conclusion. I'm like that 1990s grunge rock band, right? That like only the hardcore fans know about. I'm not mainstream, and as soon as I hit a big single, everybody will call me a fucking sellout. That's me, right? And guys like Sal and Al, they're like fucking Madonna and the big, like, you know, they got all kinds. They're for the normal people. They're not for the fucking hardos, right? They're not for the people that want to know Nirvana like an 88, right? And so nothing against their content. I make a point to never shit on anybody by name. But that's nothing I ever want to be. That's nothing I ever want to be, because they're much more, here's your picks, go play them. And I don't want to give picks, and I want to teach how the game works. So that's it's not Sal. Nothing against Sal. Big T won $1 million last year for the Masters, so he's pretty damn good at golf. I think he actually won the Masters at the Players, and yes, he is pretty good. I don't know where the fuck that came from, Brandon, but Big T won $1 million last year for the. Did somebody say Big T's not good? What did I miss? What did I miss? Where the fuck did that come from, Brandon? What a weird statement. Ibrahim okay for GPPs? Absolutely, Chris. Anytime you see a guy that I have marked as cash, they are definitely acceptable for GPPs also. Good luck to everyone. Let's win some cash. Skotastic has been lagging pretty hard. Yeah, it's hard to keep it up. So you're Alice in Chains? I don't know that. I mean, I know the band, Nick, but I don't know how big they were in the 90s, but I guess so. Robinson needs to get there on a screen pass. Maybe. I guess. Hey, good luck, Woody. Let me know how you do today. Same to you, Hannah. Good luck. All right, guys, it looks like it's about time to lock. I think I'm in. I really need to pee. I got to go get ready for my interview. It's been real. I hope you kick some ass today. Be in the chat, sharing any news, letting me know how you do, asking any questions you may have. I'll try to be around as much as I will be busy. I'll talk to you motherfathers later.